Hello everybody, my name is Ryan. Thanks for joining me to talk about these Jones H-Loop bars. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the video. These are the Jones H-Loop bars that we are going to be talking about today. Currently I have about 6 months worth of riding on these bars. I have them wrapped in SupaCaz Ultra Sticky Cush along with ESI grips. And I have my brake levers, shifters, dropper mounted close to the crux here, as you'll see. I first purchased these bars because I wanted, like most of you that are looking into this, more grip positions. I wanted to be able to hold here, maybe closer, maybe in the middle, farther up, combination, on the crux. I wanted to diversify my hand positions to alleviate pain. I first had hand pain when I do when I've done long distance rides, such as bikepacking events like the Adirondack Trail Ride, almost 600 miles, or the Catskill bikepacking route, about 260 miles. So I wanted to get away from a traditional mountain bike handlebar so that I could move my hands around and hopefully alleviate palm pain that I've had in the past. And that ranged from some slight tingling to major tingling. So, after about 6 months of riding these, I've ridden one bikepacking event, the Catskill bikepacking route, 260 miles. I've done 16-mile weekend warrior type races. I've done a couple rides of 20 to 30 miles and things like that, kind of the cross-country realm of stuff along with bikepacking. And what I've noticed so far is that over the 260-mile bikepacking route filled with rough trails, crazy hike-a-bike type stuff, that you were going down if you could ride it, which I was able to ride most of it. A lot of gravel and all that kind of stuff, some pavement, some single track, some double track, everything you could think of on an East Coast bikepacking route. I actually didn't have any hand numbness or any hand pain at all, which is what I was hoping for out of these bars. So at least at the sub 300 mile mark, they seem to be serving their purpose. I really liked that I could move my hands around. When I was on kind of rougher single track or just single track in general where I feel like I'll need my brakes or to shift, I would find myself in this position, the standard position on the bike most of the time. And then it was on gravel roads, on pavement. Sometimes I wanted to feel like I was getting more aero. I would want to rest like this, rest with my forearms over both of the bars, over the H-loop. I did that a lot when I was on gravel, when I was on pavement, when I was on areas where I felt like I wouldn't need my brakes right away or I wouldn't need to shift, kind of those resting sections. So I would do my best to move my hands around every couple minutes, ideally. And if I was thinking about it, I would move them around. I'd try to move them around before I felt anything. And for the most part, it worked out really well. So I really like these for long distance riding. And I think that's what the majority of people using them are using them for, as long distance riding. If you were to look at the Jones website and talk to those kind of guys, they would recommend this swept back angle for pretty much all styles of riding. But that's where, right now at least, I would differ with my opinion. For rougher single track, for rocky stuff, rooty stuff, tight, twisty single track, anything technical, I didn't feel quite as comfortable in the swept back hand position, and I found that I almost never used the center H-bar, H-loop, when I was on anything difficult, because I wanted to be able to make sure I can hit that brake or shift when I needed to and not have to move my hands to get to that point. So for anything that's more technical, I found that I was always here. So for me, it didn't work as well for a standard like cross-country mountain bike race. For a standard, let's say Wednesday night race, or you're just riding after work with some friends, or you're going on your standard weekend race or weekend ride, I found that I didn't really love the H-loop for those types of rides. I've been riding it, like I said, all season like this, and I don't feel like I'm riding much worse. If anything, I think I'm riding worse because I haven't been riding as much as I normally do. But technically, I feel like I'm probably just as stable riding from the swept back hand position as I am on a regular mountain bike bar. But I still don't feel as comfortable doing it. And for that reason, I will be switching back to my regular mountain bike bars for shorter events. I would say for anything sub 50 miles, and if it's a race, if I'm doing like a 100-mile race, like something in the National Ultra Endurance Series, like I don't know, Wilderness 101 or the Mohican 101 or any of the other ones, I want to hit the Shenandoah next year. The Merjezic would be super cool to hit next year. A couple others on my list. Those I would probably also go with a standard mountain bike bar with ergon grips, just because on things that are that technical, I feel like I want to feel more comfortable, and I want my hands in this position versus this more swept out position. So my overall thoughts on Jones bars, these H-loop bars, is I really, really, really do like them. I would highly recommend them to anyone that's doing a bike packing event or something that's ultra super long distance. Definitely recommend them. The increased amount of hand positions makes it worth it for your comfort. And there's really, you need to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable while you're riding, you're not gonna have fun. That goes for all of your components, your handlebars, your saddle, your overall position, your pedals, your shoes, all that kind of stuff. All the touch points are extremely important for mountain biking and road cycling. But when I'm on regular tight single track, just doing a regular ride, 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, I prefer to have a regular mountain bike bar, and I've been using ergon grips for a really long time. I will continue to use those. This is just the swept back position. I'm not as much of a fan, and also it's 2 bars here, so it weighs quite a bit more than a regular handlebar would of the same material, in this case the aluminum. But in general, highly recommend them. I would say that if you're doing anything long, again, anything long, go with something like this. These H-loop bars are fantastic. Plenty of manufacturers started to make special rolls for under the H-loop bars, which is a great thing for bike packing, and for any time where you'd want that extra carrying capacity. It's all, you can get like a lunchbox style that opens up, or just something that settles here, which is great. But yes, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think my assessment of these H-loop bars is how you felt when you've ridden them. Did you like them on the shorter rides, on the shorter races, or are you a fan of them just for bike packing? Let me know. I hope this was helpful.